Good evening, and welcome to Vanguard News. It's a pleasure to have you with us. I'm Jack Thurmond.
And I'm Gavin Beck. Let's get started.
Gainesville students, are you tired of struggling to find a parking space before your first class? I went out to get input from both students and staff on parking concerns. In the early morning hours at UNG's Gainesville campus, students and staff members have little to no trouble finding parking. However, as the day rolls on, locating a spot becomes more and more of a struggle for latecomers.
So I always get here really early, so it's not too bad for me, but yeah, when I move to another building, that's when it's really bad.
Usually it takes me about a total of 5 minutes, just constantly circling around until I find some sort of parking somewhere or an opening at least, or someone leaves. But yeah, about 5 minutes in total.
When asked, this is what some students and staff said should be done to fix the issue.
Maybe move around some of the staff parking spaces. I know why they're there, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of them because a lot of those are empty when I drive around. Most of them are empty, actually.
I think it's having a better system to assign spots to students and faculty. I think that's the better way. And also taking into consideration when we have more students, I think it's between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. That's when most of the parking spots are taken.
Former SGA Vice President Chris Hale had this to say about the matter.
I think the best way to look at it is not necessarily to create new parking avenues, but to actually realize that there's a lot of unused parking that we have around our campus. And I think the best way to do that, to advocate it, is through tabling events and also to understand our shuttling services are here to help. And we might need more shuttles potentially. I don't know where the process is with that.
Whether or not issues will persist with the campus's rapid growth is yet to be seen. With your traffic news, I'm Jack Thurmond.
Have you ever felt like getting a home-cooked pasta meal at UNG? Head to the UNG Student Center at the Gainesville campus and have Giacomo Canova take your order. Reporter Logan LeSueur tells this story.
For UNG students, there's plenty of food surrounding the Gainesville campus. But if you're feeling like getting a home-cooked meal, head to the UNG Student Center, where one cook is waiting to take your order. Giacomo Canova, a cybersecurity student here on Gainesville who cooks freshly made personal pasta dishes just for you.
So I'm probably not going to graduate from here because I'm going to the Navy in 3 months for cybersecurity and computer analytics.
He went on to tell me that he wants to go into the private sector to earn enough to invest into real estate and to create generational wealth for his future family. A question you may be asking yourself is, why is a cybersecurity student that wants to go into the military cooking pasta in the student center?
I got into cooking. I'm Italian, so everybody be cooking in my family. Gotta eat. I love to eat. Gotta cook. Because restaurants ain't it. The best restaurant is one of my kitchen. That's the best restaurant. I'm not.
So why come to him to cook your pasta?
Where else are you gonna get it? You wanna go to Olive Garden? No, really, there ain't, especially in Oakwood, Gainesville, Flowery Branch, there ain't much Italian restaurants. I don't go anywhere for Italian. You just make it.
The pasta station offers students and staff members with a variety of food, spices, and sauces that you can choose from. Students are happy with this food and will continue to come back for more.
He was basically asking us a lot about what was our taste and stuff, which I really liked. It was very catered to your own taste.
Yeah, so I enjoy coming to eat whenever he cooks, and I'll come again.
It was good. He was very knowledgeable on what he recommended, so I'm excited to try. It's better than eating ramen, so I'm kind of excited that cafeteria was still open.
So students, head on down to the Gainesville Student Center to get your freshly made bowl of pasta before Giacomo ships off to the Navy at the end of the semester. From the UNG Student Center, I'm Logan LeSueur.
With spring around the corner, the Quinlan Visual Arts Center said goodbye to its 2024 winter exhibition. Our reporter Adriana Hernandez was there to take a look at the art before it left.
As the Quinlan Visual Arts Center 2024 winter exhibition ended, an artist talk took place on the last day to get to know the faces behind the art. In this special event, the artists shared insights into their creative process, techniques, and the inspiration behind their latest works. There were 3 solo shows by artists Tom Francis, Tiago Margro, and C.U. West. and a group show with roommates Ada Alacon, Julia Everglade, and Isabella Martino. The first artist to speak was C. West, a New York-raised singer-songwriter and abstract artist showcasing his show, I Call It, Heart Marks. Although he never took art seriously, a traumatic event brought him closer to painting as an outlet to express himself. In 2022, C. West and his family became very sick due to exposure to black mold. During this time, C. West found it very challenging to function due to severe eczema covering his entire body. He struggled to get out of bed, clothe himself, walk around, play with his children, and spend time with his wife due to the pain he was in. C. West found healing through painting, and now he wants nothing more than for his art to heal the world. Next was Florida-born mixed media artist Tiago Margro. His show, Life is Nothing But a Souvenir, reflects the different path he wants to take with his art journey. He doesn't want to be the artist, but the brush making the art. Art is his purpose, and he believes he was sent here to create art for his creator through his work.
Imagine you put yourself in a river and not have control of anything. Yeah. And you're just gonna flow through the flow of that river to take from A all the way to Z and let it flow. So I think that is my concept of like, hey, freedom is here.
Wisconsin-born artist Tom Francis is a professor of painting at SCAD Atlanta, showing his work, Celebration, Color as Light, Paint as Language. Despite his works being shown throughout the United States and Europe, he was never interested in art until he attended college. He enrolled as a biology major, but after taking physical chemistry, he knew it wasn't for him. During his first art class, he was surprised at the flexibility and possibilities art could bring and started questioning his career.
What happened was there were 15 of us in the class, and he'd give an assignment, and something strange happened. Unlike calculus, where you're right or you're wrong, not a lot of wiggle room there, you had 15 people, 15 different possibilities, 15 answers to the question. I got hooked.
And the group show consisted of UNG alumni Ada Alacon, Julia Everglade, and Isabella Martino. Their exhibit, How I See Her, actively references themes of healing while celebrating the inner child, the power of female friendships, and romanticizing their experience of living together. Each completed a self-portrait to define their own narrative and how they're presented to the world, whereas the portraits they depicted of each other reveal the unfound beauty that they don't see in themselves. Examples include the girls' portraits of themselves as kids together, Ada's past selves that made her into the woman she is today, and Julia's realization that the two versions of herself can coexist. While their paintings are no longer on display, their impact and stories will continue to live within these four walls. For Vanguard News, I'm Adriana Hernandez.
While DEI is coming and going, some companies are standing by their initiatives. Our reporter Peyton McDaniel has the latest on diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace.
Since Trump took office back in January of this year, DEI programs and initiatives have been the topic of conversation for the federal government and corporations. While some are choosing to discontinue their DEI programs, others, like Delta and Costco, are standing firm in their decisions to keep their programs going. On January 23rd, at Costco's annual meeting of the shareholders, a proposal submitted by the National Center for Public Policy Research was discussed. This proposal argued that Costco's DEI programs and initiatives, quote, hold litigation, reputational, and financial risks to the company and therefore financial risk to the shareholders, end quote. According to AP News, more than 98% of the Costco executives voted against the proposal. The board stated that they believe our commitment to an enterprise rooted in respect and inclusion is appropriate and necessary. Because of Costco's decision to stand with its DEI programs rather than repeal them, some members of the New York community decided to come together and show their support. Al Sharpton, along with at least 100 members of the National Action Network, participated in a buy-in to show their support for the company sticking with its DEI policies despite rising pressures to dismantle them. I'm Peyton McDaniel, and this has been Vanguard News.
The Gainesville Shopping Center Lakeshore Mall is set to receive a big redevelopment in 2027. Our reporter, Chaz Mullis, is at the mall. Chaz, tell us what's going on over there.
Yeah, Gavin, I'm out here at Lakeshore Mall in the parking lot. A lot of big things are going to be happening in this area. Branch Properties LLC has agreed to buy out this entire property and make it into a more walkable community. It's said to have around 652 multi-family apartments here, along with other great amenities. As you can see behind me, we've got Dick's and over here at Belk. These two stores are going to be staying within the property, but Dick's in particular will probably be moving within the property. Not too sure where that will be yet, but we're looking for a lot of big changes happening in this project dubbed Lakeshore. Back to you.
Thanks, Chaz. We have big sports news tonight. A blockbuster trade between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks has shaken up the landscape of the NBA. Our reporter, Robert DiClemente, has more on the story.
Maybe the most stunning trade, definitely that I've been a part of in recent NBA history.
The sports world has been turned upside down after ESPN's senior insider Shams Charania delivered the breaking news that the Mavericks traded their all-star Luka Doncic and a few other players to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick. The trade was a stunner, or as some would say, shocking.
They just witnessed the most shocking trade in NBA history.
It's the biggest shock that I've ever seen covering the NBA all of these years.
This is the most shocking trade in NBA history.
This is the most shocking transaction.
It is the most shocking transaction of my life.
This trade was a shocker for a couple reasons. I don't know that I've ever in my NBA life can recall a trade this shocking.
The trade was so shocking, it left some people in disbelief.
We're like, wait, what? What? That's not a real thing. Well, there's no way this is real.
He's got to be hacked, right? This is not real.
There's no possible way that the Dallas Mavericks are trading a 25-year-old.
Davis, a 9-time All-Star and 2020 champion with the Lakers, heads to Dallas, and Los Angeles lands a 5-time All-Star and one of the best young players in the NBA in Doncic. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison had this to say after the trade.
To win not only now, but also in the future. And when we win, I believe the frustration will go away.
Some people were left confused by this comment when Doncic is just 25 years old and led the Mavericks to the NBA Finals last year.
Maneuvers for the lead. Got it! Got it! What a shot!
While it was almost universally agreed upon that the trade was shocking, the fans and the media have been divided on who actually won the trade.
Luka's not in shape. He hasn't been in shape. He doesn't get there.
Then you have the Lakers side. They just hit a grand slam.
The Mavericks should be ashamed.
Are the Mavericks gonna just waive Anthony Davis?
Some people took to X to voice their opinions. Mortgage Sense 83 said this is a gorgeous trade for the Lakers. They robbed Dallas. Dutch Dalton 992 said that's an awful trade for the Mavs. Do they hate Luka? NBA players also posted their reactions to the trade on X, and it even garnered the attention of other professional athletes. Whether you think the Mavericks or the Lakers won the deal, one thing's for certain. This trade definitely was
shocking. The biggest shock.
Shocking.
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 Shocking. Shocking.
From the Vanguard, I'm Robert DiClemente. Back to you.
NASCAR completed its second race of the year at Atlanta Motor Speedway this past weekend. Our Devin Kupka has more on what's happened in Sunday's Ambetter Health 400.
Christopher Bell was able to end his 19-race winless streak tonight here at the Ambetter Health 400 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and here's how it unfolded.
And here we come for the start of just 400 miles high speed in Atlanta. And Josh Berry will get this.
The race opened up with Stage 1 going completely green. Josh Berry would pick up his first ever NASCAR Cup Series stage win, winning Stage 1. Eventual race winner Christopher Bell almost had a near incident with teammate Ty Gibbs in the middle of Stage 2. The first major caution of the race would come out at lap 103, caused by Eric Jones, who would collect Chris Buescher and start a chain reaction for the rest of the race when it came to cautions. 7 more cautions were thrown after the first one for cause, and in correlation would help eventual race winner Christopher Bell move his way up through the field from starting towards the back of the pack earlier in the race. With 8 laps to go, 2 drivers in contention for the win, William Byron and Austin Cindric wrecked, putting Bell in prime position to win the race. This was Christopher Bell's first Cup win since New Hampshire of last year.
See a Toyota at all day long.
you know, we set out on winning more races. We know that we need to win more races, and frankly, Atlanta Motor Speedway was not one that we had circled. So I'm glad that we were able to get one here. But if we don't win another race before the playoffs start or, you know, the end of the year, then it's not going to be a good season for us. So we're here to stay, and we need to, you know, prove that. We need to you know, walk the walk and quit talking the talk. But
and there you go. It's going to be whoever gets
The end of the race wouldn't come without controversy. On the last lap, a wreck unfolded behind the leaders on the backstretch that would end the race. In the past, NASCAR has held back the yellow flag so the race could end under green.
Yeah, you know, I don't have control of that button. I think they do the best job they possibly can. It's not easy, and they're trying to give the fans a checkered flag finish, but they don't want to put anybody in danger either. So they're trying to assess if the field's going to come back around. They're trying to assess how hard the person may have hit. You know, it's a lot of decision making to make in a split second. So they do the best they can.
The conversation will continue throughout the week on whether or not NASCAR should have thrown the caution on the last lap of tonight's race. Reporting for UNG Vanguard News from Atlanta Motor Speedway, I'm Devin Kupka.
The UNG Nighthawks men's basketball team claimed a crucial victory on homecoming night, sealing the win in dramatic fashion. Reporter Gavin Beck has all the details from an unforgettable matchup.
The University of North Georgia's men's basketball team put on a thrilling performance in front of the 1,600 students, faculty, and alumni in attendance on homecoming night. The Nighthawks took down the University of South Carolina Beaufort in a nail-biting 96-90 overtime win. This was a huge win for UNG as it snapped their previous 5-game losing streak against one of the top teams in the Peach Belt Conference standings. Spectators stayed on their feet as the game was never out of reach for either side. The lead changed 7 times throughout the game, and an early 9-point Nighthawk lead was the largest of the night. Junior guard A.J. White's 23 points led the charge and marked his 7th 20-point game of the season. Caden Charles also notched a double-double, scoring 20 points and grabbing 15 boards to go along with 3 assists and 2 steals. However, freshman forward Zach Hawkinson brought the biggest spark of the night, showcasing his high-flying scoring ability, at one point scoring 6 straight points on 3 consecutive dunks, taking back the lead for the Nighthawks early in the second half. And when it mattered most, he sank 2 crucial free throws in the final seconds of regulation to send the game into overtime. Hawkinson finished with 18 points and 6 rebounds on the night. UNG's ability to get to the free throw line is what ultimately sunk the Sand Sharks. The Nighthawks converted a staggering 41 of 50 free throws, while the Sand Sharks managed just 11. 7 of those free throws came in the final 38 seconds, pushing the Nighthawks to a comfortable 6-point win. White continued to showcase his poise under pressure as he nailed a contested three-pointer with under a minute left in overtime to put the final dagger into the heart of the opponent. Saturday night's win gives the Nighthawks a massive confidence boost as they look to carry this momentum into the final 5 games of the regular season. I'm Gavin Beck, Vanguard News. The Rookie is a TV show on ABC that has gained a large following since it began airing in 2018. Our reporter Alex Adams has more.
That's right. We're here talking to UNG students about their experiences watching The Rookie and what they think about the hit TV show. Let's see what they have to say.
Probably the first season is my favorite.
Okay, we got some new blood this morning. And some pushing the expiration date. Get up. After 6 months together in the academy, you've earned the right to be here, but you'll have to prove yourself to stay.
Don't really like it much, to be honest. It's kind of like make-believe, fiction.
I like this action-packed, of course, and then the storyline's good. The acting's also really good, which I think is rare to find nowadays. So that's probably why I like it the most.
I think probably like the action of the show is probably like the best thing that they have. Tim Bradford. He's the only one that probably gets as close as you can to a real fight.
Logging in for overtime in pursuit of a high-speed suspect.
You sidestep over to your left, face down on the ground, arms out to the side. Intercepted by Weddle. He's at the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Eric Weddle.
Not really, not like one particular favorite. I kind of just, the show in general is really good. I really like watching it. I think I've watched it twice now altogether.
As we can see, the show may be a hit for most, but some people are not as big a fan as others. For Vanguard News, I'm Alex Adams.
The UNG Public Safety Department gained another canine family member earlier this month. Mavis, a year-old black lab, joins Canine Rex with the UNG Public Safety Department as a therapy dog. Mavis completed and passed Canine Good Citizens training at the end of 2024 and immediately got to work. She has been making a positive impact on the department and the community by spreading her infectious joy. Make sure to show your love to the UNG Canine crew when you get the chance.
That's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us again on March 20th for our next edition of Vanguard News. I'm Gavin Beck.
And I'm Jack Thurman. Thank you for watching, and make sure to join us next time.